Hello, hello, hello. It says we are live, so I guess we're live here on video, live video today on Facebook. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're having a good day, whatever time of the day it is for you, wherever you are coming in from. Today, we're going to talk about what's up in the subject line up there, about how to deal with overwhelm. And I listened to a mentor yesterday, and she spoke all about it. So I'm just going to share this with you here. Is it up there? There we go. It's up there. If I'm looking down at all, I do have a few little notes to keep me on task and not have a squirrel moment and fly off to the side there and get sidetracked. If you're coming on, pop in and let me know that you're here and where you're coming in from and what the weather's like, whatever time, whatever part of the world you're coming in from. Also, if you're coming in on the replay, if you're catching me on the replay, do hit replay and let me know, and I will give you a shout out after we're done all of this here. So I'm trying a different filter in the background today on StreamYard here. If you are coming on for the first time, the link up above, it says StreamYard, just click on that and it will allow StreamYard access to your profile picture. And then when you come up on the side here, then I can see your profile picture and I know who I'm talking to if you haven't already told me who you are. So for those of you that have never caught me before on a live, my name is Heather Edmondson and I am coming at you live here on, like I said, Friday at noon hour. Hello, Cindy. Hi, thanks for jumping in here today. I appreciate your support. It's great. Like you said, if you've never caught me live before, like I'm Heather, and it says down there that I'm Heather. We are going to talk today a little bit about overwhelm. Are you feeling quite overwhelmed with all the isolation stuff that's going on, and or are you in a position that you have to go out to work still, like myself? I'm a nurse, still out there helping people as much as I can, wearing a mask and being as protected as I can. And hopefully my clients that I am seeing are being honest and truthful with me and letting me know that they are having symptoms or not having symptoms. And then both of us can be protected in the correct way so that I can continue on with my job and provide help to those people. So like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about overwhelm with all of this going on. Are you overwhelmed? Let me know how you are trying to deal with this, what you're trying to do to keep your kids busy. It's a beautiful day here today in Medicine Hat. It's 14 degrees here Celsius. For my friends that are in the United States, I did look it up today. It's 59 degrees Fahrenheit, but there's no wind, so it's a beautiful spring day here. People are out in their gardens digging around and that kind of thing, getting some flowers. It'll probably be busy in the greenhouses on the weekend for people picking up some flowers and stuff. I'm sure they will have the social distancing thing going on as well. I listened to Mel Robbins yesterday, and she had a bunch of, well, maybe it was a couple days ago, a bunch of tips of what to do when you are feeling overwhelmed, how to react to it, what kinds of steps you can maybe possibly implement to help you with that. And I'm going to share some of those with you today as well. So are you feeling overwhelmed? Part of this is our body is going through a grief situation. You have maybe lost something in your life. A loss is maybe losing your job, and you're maybe being displaced by having to work at it and work at home instead of actually going physically away from the home and going to your office or whatever workspace that you have. So it's a kind of a grief situation. Hello, Fiona. Wonderful to see you. Haven't seen you for a while there, girl. Thanks for popping in. So it's a grief situation, and your body has to go through the steps of grief because you have actually lost something, even though it's not a loss per se, but it is a loss to your body and to your mind because you are not going physically out of your home to go to work, or maybe your kids are at home and you're trying to homeschool them and deal with that, and hopefully they're not all teenagers and making you crazy and pull your hair out, but we're all trying to deal with the world the way it is in a different way. So your body is, like I said, going through the steps of grief. Your whole world has been thrown off. And what happens when that gets thrown off like that, your body starts to produce higher levels of cortisol. And cortisol is a hormone that it's a hormone that is released by your brain to wake you up in the morning. It's like a little time clock. It says, hey, you got to get up And so it releases that hormone, but it also is a hormone that is released in a grief situation or a high stress situation, like a fight or flight moment. And your body will actually retain body fat, usually around your tummy, your middle area. And it is because of this hormone, the cortisol. Plus, we are also eating in a different fashion than we're usually normally used to. We are eating more carbohydrates. We are a little bit more sedentary because, like I said, we're fighting this grief, we're fighting this depression, we're fighting this change in our world. So we have to try and shake it up and try and refocus our brain with maybe a couple of brain teasers to make yourself think and adjust your brain focus in a different way so that we can hopefully combat that fight or flight moment that's going through our brain. If you can kind of feel the sensation of you being having an anxiety attack, if you have signs that are coming to the surface, like okay, your palms start to get sweaty, your hand, you're starting to have palpitations. Hello, Janet. Thank you for jumping in. Your palms start to get sweaty, your heart starts to have palpitations, you maybe get rapid breathing, that kind of things. If you can feel that those moments coming on, those feelings coming on. Hello, Beth. Thank you, ma'am, for jumping in. If you feel those moments coming in, maybe you can get ahead of those feelings before that happens and change your mindset and change your brain to just shake it up and make it think in a different direction. Even just for a split second is enough to shake the brain and throw it into a different wave pattern. Hello, Cindy. I'm glad that you're liking the information. And yeah, your stress levels have been so high. I was wondering why I've gained 13 pounds. That's all seems around the middle. Yeah, it's because of the cortisol levels, like I was saying. I'm glad you're finding some value in and some understanding into why that, like I said, we need to really, really be extra focused, especially at this time, on what we're putting in our mouth. Maybe don't buy those things. Don't have them available in the house. I know we all want to run out and get a truckload of chocolate or those potato chips or even popcorn is high in carbohydrates. So that's not a good go-to either. My husband's been baking bread and cookies to send over to the grandkids. And if they're laying on the counter, I will eat them too. And I don't need to eat them either because my arse is going to be this big. Sorry for the language. My butt is going to be huge by the time this is all over. So they call this the quarantine 15 or 30 or whatever that you're gaining because of all of this stress that we're having. Like I said, we need to focus our brain and slow it down so we have time to bring up the things, the moments of purpose in our life. Like I said, maybe bring up some happy memories to, like I said, shift your brain into a different mindset. And hopefully you can see me. Sometimes this screen goes in and out. Sorry about that, guys. Technology at its finest. But you do have the power to control your feelings. You have the power. You don't have the power to control how you feel, but you do have the power to control how it affects how you feel. So you have the power to change or react in a different way to what you are maybe feeling. I don't know if I like this filter. It's making me crazy. What's Beth here saying? I'm going to put my scale in front of the fridge. That's a really good plan. That's awesome. We should all implement that. I've also seen people that have put up signs in the fridge. When you open up the fridge door, it says, you're not hungry, you're just bored. So close the fridge and move along and go find something else to do. Yeah, so that's a really good idea, putting the scale in front of the fridge. What do we have here? Oh, that's a great idea. Cindy's saying that's a great idea as well. So there's two types of decisions that our brain makes. One that's called a noisy decision and one that's called a quiet decision. And a noisy decision is made by all kinds of other people in your life. It's by everyone directing you on what you should do. For example, if you're a mother or a parent, you'll get up in the morning and you will do everything for everybody else before you will do something for yourself. So it's all about what they want and not anything about what you want. As a nurse as well, we give of ourselves, and by the time we get home, we are especially drained, especially in the times like this. I don't know where I should put my face so this is looking right. yeah, so we have to make the conscious decision to make a quiet decision, and that's where a quiet decision is where you actually take a step back and you take a breath and you try and tune out all of the BS that everyone else is saying, and all of the fears that you have, and you need to draw into your inner feelings and into your heart and actually look at the situation and take a really big, like I said, breath, and really evaluate the situation for what it is. Are these people actually pulling you this way and that way, and you're not able to make the decision that you're not listening to what your body's saying. So like as a parent, as a nurse, you learn to listen to your body's feelings. Like, whenever you've walked into a room and you right away get a bad vibe about somebody, that they're not your person. You know that they're not the person that you're going to be able to have an open conversation with. You just all of a sudden you feel like the hairs go up on the back of your neck and you feel uneasy. And that's your inner spirit listening to you, your inner feelings, your inner voice. And we need to make a more conscious effort about listening to that. I always told my kids that whenever they were going out for the first time to someone's house or to a party or something like that, I said, if they ever in any way ever felt uncomfortable and out of their place, things were happening that they knew weren't um, what their beliefs are, what was up to being respectful and proper, that they were listening to the common sense things. That's the word I'm looking for. Common sense that we've all tried to instill in our children and in our families. You got to listen to that common sense in your mind and react to it. So I said, doesn't matter what time of the day it is, if it's through the night or whatever, if you're ever feeling that in a situation, I will come and get you. And myself and my husband would go and get them out of that situation. So we have, as adults, have to be able to listen to our inner voice and know that we're in a bad situation. We are feeling, like I said, overwhelmed. We are staying around people that aren't the best for us, people that are narcissistic in their behavior and are pulling us this way and that way and actually manipulating us. And we need to start looking out for ourselves and saying, hey, I need to take a step back and take that deep breath and really look at that situation. And then you can make a conscious decision. Then you can make that decision that will take you out of that situation, that will move you forward in a proper direction. And it will take you it will help you to gauge what you really, really want to do deep down. Stepping out of your comfort zone is another thing that is making you feel uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable in a different way. It's an uncomfortable in a good way. It's uncomfortable to make you actually grow and learn from some of these things. Whereas being around a narcissist is not an uncomfortable feeling that you're going to grow from. I mean, I guess you learn things from everything that has happened to you in your life, and you take little snippets of those things, and hopefully those behaviors don't reoccur because you learn from your I wouldn't say so much mistakes, or I wouldn't say so much as failures. You learn from those things so that they will not occur again in your lifetime. So put yourself in a quiet place, listen to yourself, and make those decisions that are going to benefit you and maybe your family to the best of what you need. So don't let that self-doubt creep in. Be specific, dial it down to what you need, be laser focused, then purposely move forward and make a plan. The example that that Mel used the other day was this person was struggling with the decision to make a move, and she had kind of lost her job with all this downsizing and stuff. Not with all the stuff, with all this virus stuff. The company that she was with asked her to pack up everything in her office and take it home and return her laptop. Pretty much kind of saying, the writing on the wall was saying that you're not going to have a job when this is all over. And so she said she was waiting to find out if the company was going to actually ask her to come back when everything starts to go back to what was our pre-normal before all this happened. And Mel said, well, take a look at the situation. Does it really look like they're going to ask you to come back? And the person knew actually in her own mind, but yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to ask you to come back. So Mel said, well, what's your plan B? And she says, well, I really want to move away from where I'm at and move back. I think she said closer to family. I can't exactly remember, but she had in her mind, she'd already made up her mind that she didn't want to stay where she was at. She was going to move with her and her kids to a place that was going to serve her better. And she was going to start working on her plan B as having an online business to help support her and her family. And so then Mel said, okay, just think for a sec. Take a deep breath and think about what you're saying to yourself, what you already know the answer to, right? So she already kind of knew in her mind that she'd already made up her mind and made that answer to that question. And she just needed somebody to reaffirm it and confirm that this is what she needed. Sorry, my nose was running here. She needed somebody to give her the confidence to make that step and to listen to what her body had been telling her already. So don't let that self-doubt creep in. Be specific about what your purpose is and what you need, and then make a plan and move forward with it. But don't just make a plan and just throw it there. Oh, eventually I'm going to move. No, you have to nail it down, laser focused, laser it down, get focused, and pick a date. So this lady picked a date, and by the end of May or whatever it was, I can't remember the date that she picked, she's actually going to have everything packed up, and she's going to move to where her decision that she'd already made in her mind was to do, where to move forward. I also listened to someone today that said that if you never put a plan into action, it's a wish, it's a dream. It's not, if you're not implementing, or like you're not putting a date on it, and you're not making that commitment to move your whatever it is forward, or to move your brain in that direction, it's never going to happen. It's just still going to be that dream, that picture up on the wall of going to somewhere on a holiday, or moving your business forward, or building that house, or whatever the thing is for you. If you never nail it down and actually say, okay, it's going to, by the end of May, I need to do this, and by the end of September, I need to do this, and da, 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 da. If you never put dates on it and never make yourself accountable to those dates, it's never going to come to fruition. So, yeah, you need to really put that date, be firm with it, put a commitment out onto maybe social media or to all your friends or whatever. Okay, I'm going to lose blah, blah, blah amount of weight, whatever it is, by, and you have to give that date, because if you don't make it that specific, it's not going to happen, and you're not going to be accountable to whoever it is. So you need to have clarity, purpose, and confidence. Those three things. So clarity, you're taking that breath, you're getting it clear in your head of what it is that you're struggling with, or whatever it is you're dealing with. And then you're going to make purpose. You're going to pick purpose, and you're going to dial it down and get that date. And then you're going to move forward with confidence, and you're going to take those steps to regroup and get rid of that self-doubt and confusion. And you're only one decision away from making the change that you might need to take to move your life in a different way. So it is up to you to make that decision. It's up to me to make that decision for myself. Take that time for yourself. Don't just always give to everybody before you take that time for yourself. Sorry, my nose is running on allergies or something now. Take that time for yourself. I said, even in another one of my go lives, taking that time for yourself maybe is getting up before everybody else. Sorry, guys. And I just want to finish off here with a little thing from one of my team members and mentor of ours. Celebrate your friends. Celebrate with an awesome post on your wall. Celebrate by a 3-way call. Celebrate with a Zoom call with your friends, or a virtual glass of wine. Celebrate when you bring somebody to the forefront. Celebrate when you are creating excitement. Celebrate by creating inspiration. Celebrate by creating momentum. And celebrate everybody that is around you. So it goes back to gratification, and we need to take that moment to say our prayers, or whatever it is for you, your mantras, whatever you want to call it, and be thankful for all of those things that we have in our lives, even though our lives look a little bit different right now. So I'm not here to make things easy for you. I am here to make things a little bit hard for you so that it will get you out of your comfort zone and make you grow into the person that you always wanted to be. So hopefully you got some value in that today, everyone. I pass this along to anyone who else could gain from some of these tips that I shared with you. Yes, Cindy says, trust your intuition. And she also says, be grateful. Yes, we all need to be a little bit more grateful, especially in these times. I've actually noticed a lot more people are being a lot more kind to their neighbors and their friends, which that should never have ever stopped. We should always have been like that. So trust your intuition, be grateful, move your life with clarity, purpose, and confidence, and remember that you're only one decision away from making a huge step in your life, hopefully in the right direction. Thanks everyone for jumping in here with me live, and for those of you on the replay, I hope you enjoyed it and got some value from this. You can put in value if you got some value. You can put in what you took away from what I've said. I'd appreciate that, so that you learn, so that I know that I'm giving you information that you can possibly use for yourself in your own life. So catch you later. Possibly, maybe I'll pop on the weekend. I'm working this weekend too, so we'll have to see how things go. Otherwise, I'll be back on Monday. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye for now.